a deeply personal story of Esther, who navigated stigma, isolation, and limited menstrual health education, and rose to become an advocate for dignity, access, and safe menstrual health management through the Viya community.
My name is Esther Ndinda. I'm 23 years old. I come from Kitui County, Eastern Kenya. Today I want to share my story about menstrual health and how many girls grow up without support and dignity about the same. Growing up, I used to stay with my grandma between my parents' house and my grandma's place. So most of the time my grandma was very busy and I used to stay with my uncles. And staying with two men was very hard because I couldn't get to express myself or learn a lot about my body. So when I was in school, in primary school, I used to see many girls getting sanitary towels and I couldn't understand what that was about. So at the age of maybe 12, 13, I hadn't still started my periods. And I didn't have anyone to talk about with. So I used to just stay and see the girls getting their sanitary towels, but I didn't have a lot to talk about with them. Until when I went back to stay with my parents in Kitui County, and my period started when I was at 16 years old, and I didn't have much information about that. But I went and told my mom, and she got me sanitary towels and painkillers for that. But still, I didn't have much information, so the cramps and the pain was a lot. And also, the sanitary towels were a bit expensive, considering where I'm coming from. Sometimes it was hard to even get the pads because it was like $50, which is a lot. So most of the time we'd get sanitary towels in school, but it was not all the time. Maybe we had a deputy head teacher who was a woman, and we used to approach her and she would give you maybe one sanitary towel for that, but you didn't have much. So you'd find that other girls, maybe they were tying sweaters in their waist to hide the stains and everything. It was really painful to see people going through that, considering this is something that is very important and many ladies go through that in silence. And others even would skip school, maybe go to school late because their period started and they couldn't even have money to buy the sanitary towels. And other people would use even clothes, which is not hygienic at all. So when I was about 17 years old, I got into a relationship with someone, and I felt like this is someone I would maybe talk to and ask for money for sanitary towels, and he would really support me most of the time because he was older. And then we broke up and I couldn't get the towels from him. And I had a friend who used to help me with that. And then I got into another relationship, but this one was a little bit toxic because he thought maybe because he's giving me money for this, the towels and everything, he would maybe have the right to sleep with me for that. And I just couldn't tell my parents because I have other siblings who they were catering for, and I'm the eldest one. So it was really hard, and I thank God later things opened up and I got, at least I could be able to afford the sanitary towels. But still, I'm thinking about the girl who is there, and the background is also the same because people are still going through it. And the sanitary towels are still getting expensive and expensive day by day. So I have a sister who is in high school also. But now at least I have money to buy maybe for her sanitary towels. Even before she started her periods, I didn't want her to go through whatever I went through. So I made sure that I had informed her about sanitary towels and menstruation and everything. So now at least she's ready. But what about that girl who doesn't have someone to support her and tell her about everything to do with menstruation, which is a woman's dignity? So in 2024, I found this community support group, which is Viya. and I joined, and I've gotten to learn a lot about sanitary towels, menstruation, and how to cope with the mood swings and the hormones and maybe the cramps. And at least there you can have and see people share their stories. I've even learned about endometriosis, which shows that the painful cramps are not just cramps, and it can be something more serious. And I just want to say that people, mostly girls who are in the rural areas, are supposed to learn about menstruation, and sanitary towels should be made available for them so that nobody has to go through those, where someone has to get into a relationship to get those pads and even learn how to manage the pain. There are even people, the girls who live maybe in areas like Turkana, where when they start their period, it seems like they are even grown and are married off because of, maybe it's considered like when you start menstruation, even as early as 12, they assume that now you are grown and you are married off, just because you don't have someone to support you and talk to about all these things. And menstruation should be a right. It's a right actually, because many women go through this up to the age of 40, and it's something that we need to get more support about. Thank you.